Okay, so I want you to realize how to spot propaganda on the internet. Now, it's important to understand that there are several types of propaganda. The first one is when a government entity wants you to believe something. So this can be a political group that wants you to be more right wing or left wing. It can also be a corporation that wants you to believe something. So, for example, Disney wants you to believe that anime is pedophilic because they want you to support Disney initiatives and not take your money to Japan. And it can also be someone that's a grifter, right? Like a person that's a grifter, they just want to create maximum engagement. They do not hold a specific belief. They are not right wing or left wing. They do not care about any of this. They just want to put a post that is very likely to get retweet, shared, and to have people commenting on it so that they can make money off of it, right? Not everyone that talks about politics and is independent is a grifter, obviously. A person that's not a grifter, like, sincerely believes in the things that they are posting. Meanwhile, a grifter will post misinformation or falsehoods or anything that they believe is getting them clicks. Okay, I don't think I said anything controversial up till now. I think like everyone is aware of this actually happening, and it's very plausible, right? So let's look at one of the examples. Here you have an account that managed to get almost 200,000 views, and it's called Make Europe Great Again. Oh my goodness, mega, holy shit, right? And the handle is Scary Europe. Scary Europe, right? Now, here's the thing and why this works. There are legitimate concerns with Europe. Like I myself share many of them. People do not necessarily care about truth. People care about belonging. Like people want to join a group with like-minded individual and then belong to that group. And so if you are in the Scary Europe type of group, you are desensitized from calling people out from within your group, right? Like it's not okay to punch right, because then other people claim that you're a troublemaker, you're causing disharmony, right? And so the correct thing is to shut the fuck up and to pretend that what you're seeing here is absolutely correct and keep sharing the information without checking it. And if you have checked it and you notice it's wrong, again, you need to shut the fuck up. Because usually what happens, you can get genuine, sincere people that believe you have become a leftist. And they will say, when you debunk this, they will claim, so you actually believe that Europe is not scary. You actually believe that Europe is a great place. It's like, no, that's not what I'm saying. But like, people do not operate on context. People operate on propaganda, black and white, good or wrong. They do not understand nuance. They do not understand quality control, right? So again, why am I saying that this account is publishing falsehoods? Well, first and foremost, what exactly they are claiming? They're claiming that Muslims believed that Australia would eventually bow down to Islam. So this way of framing things is not the way a person that's trying to inform you does things, right? Like this is appealing to emotions, like it's trying to spark, emotions of righteous anger. Like, what do you mean the people that we invited here believe that we were going to bow down to them, right? Like the purpose is to cause indignation. And then this happened. Okay, so now the reader is hooked. Like what happened next, right? Like after you set the emotional loadout, what happened next? In a stunning vote that shocked Canberra. Normal people who live in reality know that votes rarely shock anyone. Like there are polls that are, right? Like people don't get shocked. But they shocked the Canberra. The parliament just passed a sweeping new law to accelerate mass deportations all over the country. The vote, 138 to 12, center-right parties joined forces with conservatives and patriot groups to push through the toughest deportation framework of a century. If you listen to any demagogues, this is exactly how they talk. Longer detention, stricter return rules, external deportations, blah, blah, blah. This is one of the most important political developments in recent history. Okay, right. Now, here's the problem. On Twitter, you actually have access to this thing that many people hate. It's called grokky, right? Asking Grok if it's true. Why do people literally despise if you ask Grok if it's true? Because Twitter is not about what's right and what's wrong. Twitter is about the dance, the two groups, the belonging, the righteous indignation, the performative outrage, the spurging out. This is what Twitter is about. And so when you bring a ruler to the dance, people get upset. But what happens if we actually do ask Grokky? Well, Grokky informs us that the reason it couldn't have happened is because there are no records of it. Now, again, the people that get upset that you use Grokky do not seem to show up with the records and go like, look, Grokky was wrong. Like, no, they just say, you're using Grok, and they leave it at that. And this is a tactic that I want you guys to watch out for, because it's a very dangerous tactic in the sense that it wastes your time. This is what they do. They DDoS you. They DDoS you, right? Like, they think your time isn't important. So, if you don't use Grokky, what do you gotta do? Well, you have to go on Google. You have to do a little bit of research. You have to find out where the Australian Parliament makes its public communications, because if you're not from Australia, you probably don't know, right? So, like, after spending a lot of time digging through, like, the algorithm that's already fucked by Google, you eventually find out, and then you have to go, like, legislation by legislation for the last year or so to try and find if this thing exists. And again, you have to now prove a negative, which you can only prove if you go through all the laws that they have. And then when you don't find anything, you go back to the guy on Twitter and it's like, well, I couldn't find this law. And notice how they just changed the subject. Because again, they're not interested in truth. They're interested in the belonging or in the grifting, right? Like, they can be part of the grifting network. They too can share this in order to get likes and clicks. And so using Grokky is actually very good. As long as you don't use it for any nonsense, right? Like, you don't, like, Grokky is 2 + 2 = 4, but if you're using it to stop time on research and you understand what it says is not the Oracle of Delhi and it can be wrong, so you need to take what it says with a grain of salt. But, like, in this situation where it's basically stating, look, there are no such laws that have been passed. Right? Okay, fine. If someone was to come and say, no, V, Grok is wrong. Here is the actual legislation. I'm like, okay. Oh, well, my bad. Holy shit, I didn't know, right? But the other thing is that the specific vote and phrasing apparently appears in multiple identical viral posts on Facebook and Instagram, but nowhere in official sources. So it's quite possible that the story is broken by an influence network where many individuals may not even be aware that they are spreading misinformation, or they may be aware and not care. Again, like, the internet is filled with blogs and other websites where they make money from people doing clicks, right? Tabloids. And so, like, a tabloid can actually not care about its reputation as long as they're posting something which gets like 200,000 views. Australian users replying to the post, include locals, are overwhelmingly calling out as fake or exaggerated. So, like, again, Grok has the ability to actually see who comments and what are they saying. But if you want the coup de grace, if you generally are still thinking that this is true and I'm full of shit, all you gotta do is, like, you go to the account and you can notice that it's in South Asia, right? And so you can notice that there are a couple of things that don't make sense. Like, I'm not saying a person from South Asia may not actually be interested in Australian politics. Like, of course they can. But, like, looking at the emotional language, looking at the fact that they're talking about legislation that doesn't exist, looking at the whole presentation, all of the thumbnails and everything, you can kind of see that these people are fishing for clicks. And again, the problem isn't that there isn't an issue with Islam in Australia. The problem isn't that the Australian government isn't actually starting to crack down on Islamic immigration. The problem isn't that you can't have a conversation about the harms that Islam did to Australia, especially when it comes to cracking down on free speech and creating hate speech laws and all of those things, right? Like, of course there is room for conversation to have those, but the real question is, like, how much do you want grifters in your circle? Like, how much do you want people that are just posting emotional baggage that can be easily debunked with the click of a button, and why are you actually supporting this? This is the real question, right? We can have honest conversations about Australia and its immigration policy without tolerating people that are trying to milk the conversation for clicks and likes. Like, I'm not saying that people outside of Australia shouldn't have a say in it. Of course they should, right? But they should be honest people that genuinely care about the issue and are genuinely interested in speaking about the truth. Of course, you know, like a person can be wrong once or twice, but after a while, you can call them out. And so when I called this out, people got upset because I'm calling it out or that I'm using Grok. And it's like, okay, so use your favorite AI then. Use ChatGPT, use Gemini, use something else. No, they don't want to. It's like, okay, use Google then. Oh, no, I don't want to do the research. You have to do it. It's like, motherfucker, are you retarded? Right? Like, I'm not going to spend 3-4 hours of my life looking for something so that then it can be hand-waved away. Because I was doing that in 2018, okay? I understand the tactic, and this is why it's important that a lot of people understand that there are individuals out there that are not winning debates by being correct. They're winning debates by DDoSing you and trying to make you leave the conversation, and you shouldn't leave the conversation. You should actually stay there and use Grokky. Or if they don't want to use Grokky, you know, ask for the European Union to bring back the Jack Dorsey era where you had the fact checkers. Fact checkers claim. Fact checker. Experts have said, right? Yeah. Anyway, the situation in Australia, the way I see it, they are unironically deporting people, but it's not as extreme as this article is saying. And the reason they are is because they're doing what every single left-wing government that respects itself is doing. When they notice that they lose in the polls, they start stealing the platform from the right-wingers and implementing it very slowly, right? Articles like this are basically making it so that people believe the situation has been resolved. The situation has not been resolved, right? And the real conversation shouldn't just be about Islam. It should be also about the hate speech laws and all of the regulations that came since the Great Migration happened. Like, how many liberties and freedoms didn't people lose when Australia implemented some of the most draconic hate speech laws imaginable? That is the real question, right? And the guns and everything else that was taken. It's like, the conversation isn't, oh yeah, they managed to pass a vote and therefore it's all good. No, they didn't pass a vote. It's not all good. The immigration will eventually be more normalized. Like, you're going to have quotas, percentages, numbers in order to take away some of the platforms from the right. But the left is going to maintain power, right? And so this is why things like this are bad. At least with the ones that managed to stay until the end of the video. Because I guarantee to you, some of you guys have probably tuned out way before. It's like, V is a leftist now. No, I'm not a leftist. I just don't like grifters. South Asia. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.